Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Something's been on my mind for some time.
Okay, cool.
I often will get phone calls from people, and one of the first questions is, how much does it cost for a website?
Okay.
And I say, I don't want to sound dismissive here, but I don't know how much your particular website should cost without any scope of work or without any understanding of what it is.
Yeah.
And
do you ask them if they have a budget in mind?
It's a great point. They'll say, okay, let's say we start discussing a website project, and I say, okay, it's $5,000 for the scope of work in which you're asking for. They'll say, well, I wanted to spend $1,200. Okay, I get that a lot. It's like there's a discrepancy of how much something should cost, right?
Right.
And I started to think about this, and I'll try to flush it out with you and tell me what you think. Or maybe I'm wrong here. Well, I don't have all the answers to every single thing.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you. But it came to me that we're in a particular industry, this web design, digital marketing industry, that for some reason, the customer is setting the price versus the vendor. And I can't really think of any other scenario in which that particularly works or makes sense. And I fear that it's two things. It's one.
You should try that at the gas station.
So I was going to make a point. So in my mind, here's the thing. It's the customer calls me and they're saying, okay, well, I don't want to agree to your $4,000 or $5,000 price that you've stated. I want to spend $1,200. I'm like,
people negotiate in every business, though.
oh, fine. There's a negotiation, but within reason. So,
right, exactly.
but let's go through this for a little bit, because it's a couple of things. It's a lack of understanding or education as to the process. What does it take to actually do what you're asking me to do? Do you have a concept of what that takes? If so, I'm not so sure you would be giving that number. Or B, I think it really is lack of education, lack of understanding, and frankly, that there's too many people running around offering services that frankly they should not be offering, right?
Right.
Just because some other web design company is offering you a full-blown website for $395 doesn't mean that it's apples to my offer, nor should it be compared to my offer.
Right.
So again, it's not the customer's fault, but there is an education that is necessary. That's why I find it so important. Look, I come here, I spend my time and effort when I have a million other things to do about creating content around the things of which I believe in, right? This is my truth. I'm saying to you what I believe.
Absolutely.
And like, for example, I have a Tesla, really like that car, right? If I was to go buy a new one, I don't know how much it costs, $40,000 to $50,000. Can I go to Tesla.com and can I say, I'd like to pay 10?
No.
Is that going to work?
They don't allow that yet.
They don't allow that yet. Do you don't think Elon will just cut me a deal? It's no big deal?
No.
No, I'm making a ridiculous point.
I agree with you.
How much is it? What is this watch? It looks very nice.
Oh, it's the Apple Watch.
Apple Watch. How much does an Apple Watch cost? I'm an Android.
$1,000.
$1,000. Okay. But I want to pay $200.
Right.
I mean, no, am I wrong? Like that's what I keep coming back to.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like, people expect the same service, even if they're going to the cheapest web designer possible. And that's not possible with anything. You can't buy the cheapest ingredients and get the best cake.
Never. When was the last time you bought the cheapest of everything and got the best result out of it?
Right. You know that picture, they always have that picture online of that's like the perfect horse bottom.
Yeah.
And then like the weird top part.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what it's like when you get a professional to draw for you. This is what it's like when you have a kindergartner.
I was talking to Scott this morning, our head of content, and I was talking to him about this subject too. And he said, look, there could be a bunch of knockoffs of the Tesla that I just said, right?
Yeah.
It costs less money, right? But is that what you want? Do you want the knockoff? Do you want the cheap? If you want the cheap, I'm not the guy for you. I'm not the company for you. I can't support cheap.
The Tesla, not the Tesla.
Yeah, you want Tesla, go to Tesla. You want Tesla, come to Tesla.
Right, exactly.
Look, again, I always say, I want to say this humbly. I'm just a guy with some experience that is doing the best I can day in and day out to do right by my client. And I firmly believe, with God's help, that I'm waking up every day with energy and an enthusiasm to just be the best version of myself that I can possibly be.
Yeah.
Be the best version of Sage, which is my responsibility to be. I'm doing the best that I can, and I bring the right people to the table. I am not a freelancer. I am not sitting by myself doing all of the work. Those days are over, right? I have an amazing team. There's 9 of us. They're all exceptional. They're all better than me in their respective roles, period. If anything, I am just I'm the, whatever you want to call it, principal, owner, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're all better than me. My responsibility is my client. You happen to be my client.
Right.
I think you can say from your own experience with me that I'm very, you said it before, I still answer my own calls.
Absolutely.
20 years later, you're still answering
Exactly.
the phone, right? When some people, they get a little bit of success.
Transfer those to the Philippines,
Just
baby.
get rid of it. We don't need it.
We don't need it.
So-
no, but you still answer your phone, and that's really important. And you're responsive, and people don't really understand what they're getting. If they're gonna hire Joe Blow to build their website, they're gonna get Joe Blow on the customer service. They're gonna get Joe Blow on the follow through. When there's an emergency, they're gonna get Joe Blow.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. How many emergencies have I had where I've called you and you're there? That's the difference between a bad customer service, bad service, period. It doesn't even need to say the word customer. It's just bad service, period.
I can't support cheap.
You can't support cheap.
I can't.
You
because
can't always be available to people and be the chipper chicken.
No, because great people cost money.
Absolutely.
And I have a fantastic team. And I'll say, listen, I believe that I am maybe not the easiest person in the world to work with because I have very high expectations. I think anyone that is on my team will say, hey, he's a great guy, but he also has high expectations because I hold myself to those expectations.
Absolutely.
It's like I am responsible for your business to some degree.
Yes.
I'm responsible for the success and or failure because of the digital footprint, et cetera.
Absolutely.
I'm responsible for that.
Digital is everything. I'm sorry. Yeah, you've got a little local store and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but the person found you digitally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They went on Google Maps. They went on Google. They went on Yahoo, Bing. I don't care where, and they found you.
Yeah.
And
I feel responsible for that. And I bring that responsibility to my interactions with
our
my clients.
store, no matter what it is, our store is our website.
Yeah.
Our website is our store.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that you think you're going to put in the cheapest ingredients and come up with the filet mignon. That's just doesn't happen in any business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's in every business, we have people that don't want to pay the price for the type of service that you provide. And that just means that everybody isn't your client,
You're correct. And I feel a responsibility to, at the very least, say, hey, this is what it takes to do this right. I want you to understand that.
Yes.
I'm not telling you $5,000 and it's a 10-hour job and I'm making $500 an hour. That's not what I'm advising here because that's unrealistic. I will break down in a subsequent episode what it generally takes to do things here.
Yeah.
And we're going to apply a price to it and we're going to do some basic math and I'm going to show you exactly what it takes in order to do this. And as you said, I cannot support cheap. It's not good for you, the customer. It's not good for me, the business. It's not good for my team when everything is price-based. So, but at the same time, I'm sensitive to being available and being reasonable with what I am doing.
Exactly.
There are agencies out there, I know them, that will quote, I'm not joking, 10x, 15x
I'm sure.
of what I am saying, right? So I like to say, okay, am I the cheapest? Certainly not. Am I the most expensive? Absolutely not.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
But again, I'm bringing the best that I possibly can and an enthusiasm and a care of the output. And I believe that that's like the recipe for what's most important. Are we the best designers that ever lived? I think there's probably have been better, right? Are we the best at everything? I don't think so.
Right.
But I have an amazing team. I'm really, really proud of the work that I'm doing. And I'll say that the portfolio just keeps getting better and better and better. And I am so proud of that. So again, I can't think of another industry of which the customer themselves arbitrarily is setting the price. And the remedy to that is understand what it truly takes and the differences of the, let's just say, template option or direct to WordPress option or direct to Elementor or whatever you're talking about versus custom design in Figma, hand-coded development in WordPress, professionally, responsive, etc. Like, it's not apples to apples.
It's not a $19.95 website.
It isn't.
And it's not $19.95 a month support.
Correct. Unlimited support for X price. That's not what this is. And it can't be because it would be a recipe for bankruptcy for me.
Right.
But again, look, there are some individuals in which it's a proof of concept, it's a business card website, whatever that is, there are options, right? I'm not an expert on those options, but they exist, right? You can go, there's a drag and drop, you can choose a theme, you can change some text, change a picture, voila, roll up your sleeves, have a glass of wine, knock it out in the evening, and that's it. But there's that piece. And then the management of the website, it's a whole other conversation, but essentially there's a few different options. And, I often say, it's like, listen, for the price of $3 a day approximately, I'm assuming all responsibility of the health and wellness of your website.
Yeah.
My client understands it is an absolute no-brainer for me to be managing the website and not them, because we said it before. What we already forgot. I mean that with all respect.
I think there's an approach to it where you can say to somebody, okay, when they give you that number that's unrealistic, and you tell them what is, okay, why is that unrealistic? Well, that's 1/5 of what we charge here, because they probably do 1/5 of what we do.
Yes, it's brilliantly said. I like that very much. Yeah. And if that's what you're looking for, I wish you the best. Here's some resources.
Absolutely. If you can stretch it.
If you can stretch it, I will work with you. Let's set up a payment plan. I'm all for that. No issue whatsoever. So anyway, thank you for listening to me on that subject.